For 23 years, Mr. Thomas Wilson worked as an engineer in the glass production industry. This career enabled him to travel internationally to places such as China, Japan, and the United Kingdom. Since he knew that there was no place like home, Mr. Wilson, originally from Mississippi, decided to settle as a farmer in Scott County and raise beef cattle.
The farm was established in the year of 2000. We actually have this particular lot here is 20 acres, and this was added on. This is add-on. This actually wasn't in the original. The original was only 40 acres, and then an additional 20 acres.
In 1992, he and his wife, Dr. Lockwood Wilson, inherited the property from her grandmother. The land had been in the family since the early 1900s, as her grandparents raised cattle and grew specialty crops to sell to community members. When the Wilsons obtained the property, Mr. Wilson decided to begin farming to avoid the chance of the family's land becoming dormant.
I started farming because after my wife's grandmother passed on, we had the property through inheritance, and there was nothing being done at the time. So we decided to purchase a few cattle and put on, and just to make sure that the place did not grow up with lack of maintenance. So we did that, and we found out later on that we could probably, do this as a business.
Since Mr. Wilson is a person who continuously seeks improvement for his cattle farm, he reached out to the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service after hearing about the agency from a family member and friend. He received funding through the Environmental Quality Incentives Program and was able to install 2 heavy use protection areas, apply lime for the soil and herbaceous weed control, and install cross and perimeter fencing. The cross fencing allows Mr. Wilson to implement rotational grazing for his cattle.
NRCS has helped Mr. Wilson by allowing him to reach levels with his farm with such practices as adequate water, fencing, and weed control.
The cross fencing, I'm able to graze as opposed to letting the cow roam all over the entire place and not grazing equally into the different sections. By being able to have the cross fencing, I can I can determine how long they graze in one section.
Mr. Wilson dedicates much time to the maintenance of the farm, as he often walks the fence line to search for damage due to fallen trees, and he also sprays weeds in the summer.
Mr. Wilson is a model farmer who's determined to be a successful farmer.
Mr. Wilson continues to learn best practices for his farm by attending outreach meetings. He encourages other farmers and landowners to know their goals for their land.
If I had to tell friends and relatives about NRCS, I would tell them to know or have a good idea of what you want to do and go and talk to them, and they would be willing to assist you in any kind of way that they can.
This Vietnam veteran hopes to leave a legacy to his grandgirls as they have started to show interest in farming.
I think I want to pass on to grandchildren, because I have 2 girls and they don't care for the farm. But the grandgirls, I have grandgirls also, but they are more interested in the farm because every summer they come and spend time on the farm. And I would like to leave them in charge or leave it with them.